Have you ever stopped to think about the weight some professions carry? We're talking about those roles that demand not only exceptional skills but also a level of mental resilience that seems almost superhuman. Imagine waking up every single day knowing that your job involves saving lives, facing deadly dangers, or making decisions that could alter the fate of many. This kind of routine affects far more than just the body, it reaches the soul. In today's video, we're diving deep into how high-risk professions can take a toll on psychological well-being, and why taking care of the minds of these professionals is not just important, it's a matter of survival. Get ready for a journey of reflection and empathy. Risk-filled professions go far beyond the glamour portrayed in films and television series. Behind the polished uniforms, the snap decisions, and the determined gaze, there's an invisible battle against stress, anxiety, and, in many cases, depression. These are professions that require more than just courage. They demand mental preparation that is rarely recognized or valued. Police officers, firefighters, doctors, air traffic controllers, and oil rig workers are just a few examples. Today, we'll explore the specifics of each of these roles and understand how the psychological impact can be devastating and what can be done to soften the blow. Being a police officer means being on high alert at all times. It doesn't matter if it's day or night, rain or shine, the job requires constant vigilance. Officers face extreme risk situations, shootings, high-speed chases, direct confrontations with danger. The psychological toll is enormous. High rates of post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, anxiety, and relationship difficulties are common. Research shows that police officers are more prone to burnout and depression. Moreover, the stigma surrounding mental health often stops them from seeking help. Ongoing training, often focused solely on technical aspects, rarely includes emotional support. To make matters worse, police work is typically carried out in environments that don't encourage vulnerability, making it even harder to admit when help is needed. Long shifts and frequent exposure to traumatic scenes further intensify the negative effects. As a result, many turn to harmful coping mechanisms, such as substance abuse or emotional withdrawal. Firefighters are the heroes who run towards danger while everyone else runs away. Fires, collapses, and extreme rescue missions are part of their daily reality. The trauma they accumulate from tragic deaths, severe injuries, and life-or-death situations takes a heavy toll on their mental health. Many firefighters suffer from insomnia, recurring nightmares, and a constant state of alertness, even when off-duty. This pressure often leads to substance abuse and emotional detachment. The intense physical demands also contribute to mental exhaustion, as the job requires a high level of physical fitness and endurance. Unfortunately, emotional burdens are rarely discussed openly, creating an environment where psychological suffering remains hidden. The mental impact is not just immediate, it can appear years later, in the form of PTSD or chronic depression. Mental health awareness policies are essential to reduce this burden and offer these professionals the support they desperately need. On the front lines of healthcare, doctors and nurses face daily challenges that affect both their minds and hearts. The pressure to save lives, make split-second decisions, and deal with unavoidable loss can be devastating. During pandemics or emergencies, this pressure increases dramatically. The result: high levels of burnout, anxiety, and depression. These professionals often neglect their own health while caring for others, creating a dangerous cycle of physical and emotional exhaustion. Excessive workloads and inadequate breaks only worsen the problem. The constant fear of making mistakes, combined with the pressure to be perfect, creates a mentally draining environment. Many also face moral dilemmas when dealing with limited resources, adding another layer of stress. Psychological support in these settings is often lacking, leaving professionals without the tools to manage these emotional challenges. Institutions must invest in emotional support programs to ensure these heroes can continue doing their work without sacrificing their own mental health. Few professions demand the level of focus and precision required of an air traffic controller. With thousands of lives depending on them every second, even the smallest error can have fatal consequences. This constant pressure often leads to symptoms of anxiety, insomnia, and extreme fatigue. On top of that, The intense workload and lack of adequate breaks make these professionals especially vulnerable to burnout. Mental health is frequently overlooked in this field, despite its direct impact on operational safety. The working environment is extremely isolated and highly focused. Controllers must deal with unpredictable schedules and night shifts that disrupt their natural sleep cycles. Prolonged sleep deprivation can worsen mental health issues and impair decision-making abilities. The rigorous training and high expectations also contribute to a culture of perfectionism, which makes it harder to seek psychological help. Technology, though essential, adds another layer of stress. System failures or technical issues can significantly increase the pressure. It's crucial that psychological support programs are provided and actively encouraged to ensure the mental well-being of these vital professionals. Far from home, isolated at sea, and exposed to extreme conditions, offshore oil rig workers face challenges that go far beyond physical risks. Loneliness, social isolation, and the pressure to deliver results in a hazardous environment create a perfect storm for mental health struggles. Depression, anxiety, and alcohol misuse are common among these workers, who often have limited access to health services and mental health support. These professionals may spend weeks, or even months, away from their families, intensifying feelings of disconnection and solitude. The routine is exhausting, with long shifts and very little downtime. The ever-present risk of accidents keeps them in a constant state of alertness, making it difficult to truly relax. For many, the lack of privacy in shared accommodations can further increase stress levels. Tailored mental health programs for offshore workers are vital in reducing the psychological toll of such a demanding lifestyle. Being in the military is more than a job, it's a calling that requires enormous personal and familial sacrifice. Beyond the dangers faced in combat missions, military personnel endure an intense psychological burden. Long separations from loved ones, exposure to violent events, and the strict demands of military discipline can lead to serious mental health conditions such as PTSD, anxiety, and depression. In war zones or during high-risk operations, these challenges are greatly magnified. Many veterans also struggle with reintegration into civilian life, which can worsen emotional difficulties. The transition can feel overwhelming, especially when the support systems aren't strong or accessible. Psychological support and reintegration programs are essential to help service members cope with the deep and lasting impacts of their profession. Lorry drivers face challenges that often go unnoticed by society. Long hours on the road, social isolation, and tight deadlines create conditions ripe for stress and exhaustion. Sleep deprivation, which is common in this line of work, can severely impact mental health, leading to anxiety and depression. Being away from home and family for extended periods also contributes to feelings of loneliness and emotional disconnection. To make matters worse, access to mental health services while on the road is extremely limited, leaving many drivers without the support they need. Remote psychological assistance and initiatives to improve working conditions are crucial for promoting mental well-being in this essential sector. Whether on land, in the air, or at sea, high-risk professions come with a heavy psychological cost. These professionals are true heroes, but even heroes need care. It's vital that society not only respects the work they do but also supports their mental health. If you know someone working in a high-risk profession, check in on them. Ask how they're really doing. Offer your support, and encourage them to seek help if they need it. If you've made it this far, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us reach more people with important content like this. And before you go, there's another video popping up on your screen right now that I know you're going to love. Thanks for being with us, and see you next time.